the harvest.
Good afternoon, Africa. This is Imene Naouad with the latest news from across the continent and the world. President Abdelmajid Tebboune and Somali President Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud held official talks in Algiers to strengthen brotherly ties and expand cooperation. The two leaders signed 6 agreements and memoranda of understanding covering higher education, agriculture, fisheries, and animal health. The visit aims to give new momentum to bilateral relations and advance Africa's Agenda 2063 for inclusive and sustainable development. Chairman of Algeria's Council of Nations, Azouz Nasri, was received earlier today in Luanda by Angolan President João Lourenço. Nasri conveyed a message from President Abdelmajid Tebboune and expressed Algeria's readiness to boost economic ties with Angola. President Lourenço announced that Algeria will be his first foreign destination in 2026 as Angola celebrates its 50th anniversary of its independence. Still on Angola's 50th independence anniversary, the Angolan embassy in Algeria held an official ceremony earlier today, celebrating the occasion, highlighting the deep historical ties and spirit of African solidarity between the two nations. Angolan Ambassador Toko Dikinga Sirao affirms the shared vision of sovereignty, peace, and sustainable development, noting promising prospects for bilateral cooperation in many fields, especially economy. Let's listen.
The issue of economic cooperation is a very essential aspect of the collaboration between our two countries. At present, our nations are preparing meetings that will focus precisely on this key area. Angola and Algeria share common traits even in terms of their economies. This allows us to exchange and share certain experiences. We currently have and have long had young Angolans being trained in Algeria, for example, in the field of hydrocarbons, where both countries share the same main sources of revenue. In other energy sectors as well, cooperation is being developed to support economic diversification. At the moment, experts from both sides are negotiating various areas of cooperation.
Ambassador Sirao also affirms Angola's support for the Sahrawi people's right to self-determination, aligning with Algeria's stance, stressing it will back any decision the Sahrawi people make without any delay about their future. Let's hear it.
Angola, like Algeria, is defending a matter of principle. Our position is based on the resolution of the former Organization of African Unity. What is essential for us is the will of the Sahrawi people, not our own will. We are always ready to support the position of the Sahrawi people. Whatever they may decide today or tomorrow, we will always stand behind them, because our support is based on the principle of the right of peoples to self-determination.
The Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic took part in the high-level dialogue with the G20 and Africa on debate on the debt, sustainability, capital costs and financial reforms held on November 10th at the African Union headquarters in Addis Ababa. Ambassador Lamine Bali represented the Sahrawi Republic at the event organized by South Africa, current G20 chair, under the theme Strengthening the G20 Africa Partnership. South Africa's unemployment rate has dropped slightly to 31.9% in the third quarter of 2025 compared to 33.1% previously, according to official government data. The statistic agency reports that 6 of the 10 main industries saw job growth during this period of time. Still on the economic front, Botswana is seeking to acquire a majority stake in the diamond giant De Beers. President Duma Boko announced this morning that this State of the Nation address, the move allows Angola's competing bid for control of the company. Despite falling diamond prices, Botswana says the sector remains vital for regional growth. At the ongoing Global Climate Summit in Belém, Brazil, world leaders have made a historic announcement for Africa. Ethiopia will host the 2027 United Nations Climate Conference, or COP32, as the first for the country and a major moment for the continent's role in climate leadership. Here is a detailed report by Widad Alawa.
The Global Climate Summit in Belém, Brazil, confirms Ethiopia as the host nation for COP30 in 2027, an important step highlighting Africa's expanding role in global climate leadership. The decision reflects confidence in Ethiopia's commitment to advancing sustainable and inclusive environmental solutions. As COP30 continues in Brazil, African leaders are renewing calls for stronger international climate financing, despite contributing only about 4% of global fossil fuel emissions. Africa faces some of the most severe climate impacts. Leaders stress that industrialized nations responsible for most carbon emissions must take greater responsibility by funding adaptation and mitigation in developing countries. They urge wealthy nations to honor their pledges and turn the polluter pays principle into real, lasting action.
Turning to the security, the United Nations warns of worsening humanitarian conditions in North Darfur, Sudan, as violence spreads beyond Al Fasher. Nearly 89,000 people have fled surrounding areas, with families seeking refuge near the Chad border. The UN urges an immediate ceasefire, protection of civilians and aid workers, and the unrestricted humanitarian access. Protesters in Nigeria have disrupted the opening of Museum of West African Art, Benin City. The demonstration comes amid ongoing disputes over the display of historic Benin bronze. Videos online show young protesters entering the museum grounds on Sunday evening. The Sudanese filmmaker Susanna Mirghani drama's Cotton Queen has won the Golden Alexander, the top award at the Thessaloniki Film Festival. The film highlights the resilience of Sudanese women amid social and political challenges ongoing on the country. And that sums up today's Harvest. Thank you to paying attention to the full list. Don't go too far and keep enjoying our programs of the day with Ifriqiya FM, The Voice.